Hi, I'm Erica Olson with On Strategy. Today's whiteboard video is on one of my favorite topics, building a plan you can actually implement. I have to tell you, our team over at On Strategy receives lots of plans every week that are just not implementable. So this video is to help save time to think about how you're going to implement your plan before you build your plan. And I promise that seems a little counterintuitive, but it will save you tons of time in the long run. So let's jump in. I'm going to jump to the bottom of the whiteboard just to orient us for a minute. There are two parts to an implementation model. I know that sounds fancy. It's not fancy, but there are two pieces that you need to think about. The first piece is your plan structure. What do I mean by that? I mean the way in which your plan is architected, which is from your big strategic goals to your annual objectives, to your maybe quarterly initiatives, to your action items. So that's an example of a plan structure. What's really important, and the most important, is to think through who is going to be your champion for your annual objective. You may call this something else. This is a big long-range statement. This is the next most specific statement articulated in an annual manner. I'm going to call it objective for this particular purpose. So when we talk about the different implementation models, what I'm asking you to pre-think about is who's going to champion this level. They may be accountable, but let's say champion. Okay? So that's part one. Part two is you are going to build an awesome plan, I know you are, and you're going to manage the implementation. You're going to stand up an agile quarterly performance management cycle or an implementation cycle. So when you think about that, how is that occurring in terms of where are the check-in points occurring? Sure, they're on the month, and then quarter, but how are those happening? Are those happening within an existing structure or a new structure? And that's what I'm going to talk about here. Okay? So you might not be able to answer this right now, but you will at the end of the video. All right, so there are three different implementation models, and probably there are many more, but these are the standard ones. The first one is a standard functional team structure. So this is exactly as your org structure is today. You would, and these are intended to say departments or functional areas, if you will. When you think about this, your lead or your champion for your annual objectives in this particular model would be your VP, or that next direct report to your CEO, whatever that title level is. The pros to this particular implementation model is it fits with your existing organizational structure so everybody totally understands it. There's no new meetings that you need because you can manage your implementation through your existing department meetings. The con is it keeps silos. This is not breaking silos, you're staying in your functional teams. Nothing wrong with this, a great place to start if you're new to having an agile implementation process. That's option one. Option two, a little bit more advanced, a lot more advanced actually, would be cross-functional teams. So that's what this little icon, it looks a little bit like a circus hat, is intended to communicate. Cross-functional teams, the owner or the champion of your annual objective in this example would be a subject matter expert. Think about these as strategic goals. We're organizing ourselves by strategic goals. You're creating cross-functional goal teams. And the people or person accountable or championing the annual objective would be somebody on the team. So let's just call it an SME. It's outside of the hierarchical org structure on purpose. What's great about this model, it breaks silos. And when you say we want to inspire cross-collaboration, this will do it for you. It's much more agile because you have more perspectives at the table. The con is it is a new structure. It creates new meetings. So when you think about how you're going to manage implementation down here, you'll be standing up a monthly team, goal team meeting to make this happen. Okay. And last but certainly not least, number three is individually driven, which sounds a little bit funny, but totally common. And in this particular instance, our little dots within our teams, or maybe you don't have teams, maybe you're a flat organization, individuals are championing the annual objective. So it is totally a flat structure. The benefit to that is it's super low admin, right? We're not setting up new meeting structures. It's just individually championed. It's super simple. It is a bit hard to manage as a CEO or as a strategy lead when you're thinking about the fact that everybody owns a piece of the plan or is championing a piece of the plan. Again, this particular model and this particular model is a good place to start depending upon the size of your organization, smaller, larger, and this is absolutely more advanced, much more impactful when you really want to have a different way of working in order to implement your strategic plan. Again, thinking this through, you're going to make a decision about one of these three, and that's how you're going to assign championship to this level of the plan, and then think about your implementation cycle in terms of team meetings, existing or new, or none, as the case may be, and then the quarterly review, which would occur right here, how all that comes together. So with that, now you know that you can build a plan that you can actually implement. Check out our white paper at the end of this video for more information on implementation models. Thanks for tuning in. Please subscribe to our channel. Happy strategizing.